Here are 8 awesome combos of feats in Dungeons & Dragons. The Devil's Eyepiece combo. The Devil's Eyepiece combines Eldritch Adept with Elven Accuracy. Elven Accuracy says when you make an attack roll at advantage using Dexterity, Wisdom, Intelligence, or Charisma, you can roll an extra d20 and take the highest result. It's super advantage. Basically, it's not only great for reliably hitting things, this triples your chances at getting a critical hit. Eldritch Adept simply lets you grab any Warlock invocation, no matter your class, and Pact of the Blade is now a Warlock invocation. This bad boy lets you use Charisma in place of Strength or Dexterity for attack rolls with a melee weapon, and that means you can be rocking a great sword, attacking with your Charisma, benefiting from Elven Accuracy. All you need then is a reliable source of advantage, and look at that! Here's the Oath of Vengeance Paladin, which gives you free advantage on every attack as part of their Channel Divinity. Infinite super advantage on every attack, and you can dump Strength to max out your Con and Charisma to be extra tanky and sexy as hell. The Gaslighter King combo. The Gaslighter King is a simple mix of the Actor and Rune Shaper feats. Actor bumps your Charisma score by 1, gives you advantage on any performance or persuasion checks while you're disguised as someone else, and lets you mimic another creature's sounds and speech. Rune Shaper is a complex feat, but it essentially gives you access to a bunch of spells, and the one we're picking is Disguise Self. Boom! You can now perfectly adopt the appearance of any creature that is roughly your size and has your basic arrangement of limbs. And thanks to Actor, you can perfectly mimic their voice, and you have advantage on persuasion checks to convince other people that you are them. This is the ultimate roleplay infiltration build, obviously. You can perfectly imitate anyone, but also, you can get weirder. Actor lets you mimic any creature's noises, not just their words, and Disguise Self works for any creature roughly your size. You can pass yourself off as a dog, or a deer, or any medium-sized creature with 4 limbs. It also makes for a great party trick. Really, the only limit here is your creativity. The Darth Maul combo. The Darth Maul combo is a mix of Revenant Blade and Defensive Duelist. Both of these feats give you a +1 to Dexterity, which is awesome. You are still buffing your stats while you build out this combo. Then, Revenant Blade lets you access the double-bladed scimitar weapon, and lets you treat it as a finesse weapon so you can attack with Dexterity. This weapon is nuts. Just holding it gives you +1 to your AC, and it hits for 2d4 damage, which makes it the highest damaging melee-based dex weapon in the game. But even better, when you attack with it, you can make a bonus action attack with it that turn as well. The bonus action attack only deals 1d4 damage, but it can still benefit from your Dexterity modifier and Hunter's Mark or Hex, or whatever bonus damage you've got going on. Then, Defensive Duelist comes in. Anytime a creature hits you with an attack roll, you can use a reaction to parry that attack and add your proficiency bonus to your AC until the start of your next turn. It's kind of like the shield spell for non-magic users without a spell slot, but it does only work against melee attacks. This combo gives you +1 AC right off the bat, another +1 to your AC thanks to the buffs to your dex score, the highest damaging dex-based melee weapon in the game, and the ability to bump your AC by 2 to 6 every single round. Oh, and you're also getting an extra attack every single turn. There's also that. But let's keep going.
Hello, DM. What? What are you? It's me, the War Crime Wizard. What? What happened? I cast so many fireballs that I decided to become one.
What, like your actual race is a sentient fireball?
Exactly. Now I don't just do war crimes, I am the war crime.
Well, that's badass, but it can't be like by the rules, right?
On the contrary, DM, I'm simply one of the multitude of beautifully designed, balanced, and innovative new species from Battlezoo Ancestry Year of the Titans.
Year of the Titans is a Kickstarter by Roll for Combat, introducing a host of new playable species for D&D and Pathfinder for both the 2014 and 2024 versions of 5e. We're talking playable living spells, krakens, trolls, Einhjar, and tons more. Each species also comes
comes with detailed in-world lore, at least 4 heritages or subspecies, dozens of free digital files and tokens, and loads more. It's out now on Kickstarter, and if you back, you'll receive a new species every single month for the entirety of 2025, with double the content dropping in January. No waiting for years to receive rewards, you're getting stuff right now. Grab Battlesu Ancestry's Year of the Titans on Kickstarter, link in description.
The Short Rest Superstar. The Short Rest Superstar is unassuming, but it might be the most beloved build in the game, and it's pretty easy to set up because the first part, Musician, is an origin feat. Musician lets you hand out heroic inspiration to 2 to 6 allies every time you finish a short rest. This essentially lets them re-roll any die they want. Miss an attack? Re-roll. Fail a save? Re-roll. Blunder a pickup line on the sexy orc guard captain? Reroll. You can then supplement this with Inspiring Leader, which also buffs your allies over the course of a short rest. In this case, by giving them temporary hit points equal to your level, plus your Wisdom or Charisma modifier. It also buffs one of those stats by 1. But then, you can take it even further by grabbing the Chef feat. This bumps your Constitution or Wisdom by 1 and lets you prepare a meal over the course of a short rest for a number of allies equal to 4 plus your proficiency bonus. Any creature that partakes in that meal regains an additional 1d8 hit points if they gain any hit points while short resting. In addition, with an hour's work at the end of a long rest, you can prepare a number of treats equal to your proficiency bonus, and any creature that eats one gains temporary hit points equal to your proficiency bonus. Essentially, as the short rest superstar, you can simultaneously cook a meal, sing a song, and give an inspiring speech over the course of a short rest, supplemented with some weed brownies you bashed out that morning. Everyone is picking up temporary hit points, additional healing, and heroic inspiration. You are the mom of the group, the ultimate short rest support. The feats also buff your stats as you grow. They very well play into your character's backstory and narrative, and it's just nice to be everyone else's favorite character. Throw on Bountiful Luck if you're a halfling, and you're gonna start picking up actual cash gifts from other players just for showing up to a session. My Kinsman for a Horse combo. This is a unique combo in the sense that it's 2 feats, but they each get taken by a different character. This is a collaborative combo. Player 1 plays a small race, like Halfling, ideally plays a tanky class, like Barbarian, and picks up the Mounted Combatant feat. This fella gives you a +1 to Strength, Dex, or Wisdom, and gives you advantage on all attacks against any unmounted creature that is smaller than your mount. It also gives your mount advantage on any Dex saves to avoid damage, and while you're mounted, you can force any attack that hits your mount to hit you instead. Player 2 plays any medium-sized race, or even better, a Goliath who can increase their size to large and takes the Sentinel feat. This feat gives +1 to Strength or Dex and says whenever you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, that creature's speed falls to 0 until the end of this turn. More importantly though, it says whenever a creature within 5 feet hits a target with an attack other than you, you can make an opportunity attack against that creature. The combo here, if you haven't realized, is for player 1 to mount player 2. You ride around on their shoulders. Player 2 is now functionally untargetable by attacks because anything that hits them is redirected up to player 1. And anytime a creature hits player 1, player 2 gets a free opportunity attack against them. An opportunity attack that will, by the way, reduce their movement speed to 0. Player 2 also has advantage on all Dex saves to avoid damage. Meanwhile, player 1 is enjoying advantage on every attack roll against a creature smaller than their ally, and generally being the most effective tank ever. The ideal builds for this combo are probably something like Barbarian Gnome and Goliath Monk, but it can work in a bunch of different ways. It's also hilarious, and teamwork like this is exactly what D&D should be about. The Spindasher combo. Spin dashing is simple but fun. You combo the mobile feat with the charger feat. Mobile increases your movement speed by 10 and says you do not trigger opportunity attacks from creatures you attempt to hit on your turn. Charger, from the new PHB, gives you a +1 to Strength or Dex, gives you a +10 movement when you dash, and gives you a charge attack option. Charge attack lets you deal an extra 1d8 damage on any melee attack as long as you move at least 10 feet towards the target before attacking. Here's how spin dashing works. You charge into combat and hit an enemy. Bam! An extra d8 damage. You can then use 10 feet of movement to run away without an opportunity attack, turn around and run back in, repeating the process for another d8 damage. There are ways to take this even further, like being an orc fighter who can dash as a bonus action to repeat the entire process 2 more times for 4d8 bonus damage a turn if you're level 11 and attacking with light weapons. But even at its base, this is 2d8 extra damage a turn and actually gives you something creative and tactical to do with your movement in combat. The Grasshopper Asswhooper combo. This is maybe my favorite combo made possible with the new rules, and it's also pretty easy to set up because the Grasshopper Asswhooper starts with the origin feat Magic Initiate. You're going to use that to grab a first level spell from the wizard spell list, in this case, Jump. We're going to combine that with the Grappler feat, which gives you a +1 to strength or dex and lets you grapple a creature at the same time as damaging it when you hit it with an unarmed strike. Grappler also says you don't have to spend extra movement to move a creature you are grappling, as long as it's your size or smaller. The Grasshopper Asswhooper is simple. You grapple an enemy while also damaging them with an unarmed strike. You then cast Jump as a bonus action, which is going to last for 1 minute without concentration, and leap 30 feet into the air, using 10 feet of movement. At the height of your jump, you let go of the enemy. They plummet 30 feet down, land prone, and take an unavoidable 3d6 bludgeoning damage. You then land from your jump and continue punching away, at advantage because they are now prone, and you can do this every turn. Now, some GMs rule that you should also take falling damage when you come down after using the jump spell. This is an unpopular ruling because it essentially makes the jump spell garbage, but in this specific case, it actually makes this combo arguably better, because if you are also taking damage from the fall, you can use the falling on top of other creatures rule to land on them and split 3d6 damage between the two of you. Sure, you take a little bit of damage, but they've taken even more, and you can use half your movement to stand up and continue your turn as before. Or you can just be a monk with the slow fall trait, ignore all of that, and play it like normal. Either way, leaping 30 feet into the air and pile driving fools into the dirt is awesome. The Bonks R Us combo. This combo is so iconic, I couldn't make a video like this without it. It's a mix of Polearm Master and Sentinel. Polearm Master bumps your strength or dex by 1 and lets you make an extra attack every turn with a polearm. That's already great, but more importantly for this combo, it lets you make an opportunity attack against any creature that moves within your reach, which is 10 feet. Meanwhile, Sentinel, as you recall, says whenever you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, their movement speed falls to 0 until the end of that turn. So an enemy charges up to you, and you bonk them with a polearm as soon as they get within 10 feet. Their movement now falls to 0, so they can't get within 5 feet of you to get to melee range and tear your face off. It's a classic, it's awesome, and it's brutally strong in 1v1 combat. This is the most famous and iconic feat combination in Dungeons & Dragons. It might even be the most famous combo in Dungeons & Dragons. However, it does only work with the 2014 rules. The 2014 version of Polearm Master changed things, so that reaction attack when a creature moves within your reach doesn't technically count as an opportunity attack anymore. I honestly don't know why they did this. This really wasn't broken, it was just pretty good, and it made a potentially interesting build not possible anymore, at least rules as written. Either way, if you're playing with the 2024 rules and you want to do this, just check with your GM. I honestly think it's fine. But, you know, it's definitely a thing in the 2014 rules if you're using those, 100%. And obviously, being so iconic, this list literally couldn't exist without me mentioning it. But if you want more feats and other awesome stuff, you can grab it from my Patreon. There's free stuff up there for anyone to access. And if you support the channel there to make videos like this possible, you'll get a bunch more awesome stuff every month, like new species, subclasses, adventures, magic items, all that shebang. Your support on Patreon and through YouTube memberships is what makes all of this possible through the ups and downs of unpredictable YouTube ad revenue. And yeah, that's all I've got. Remember to like and subscribe, check out other videos on the channel, and I'll see you next time.